Hey folks, it is Mental and it is Nick, and we are just back from Gingerman.
Well, actually, I wasn't there at all, and in fact, a lot of familiar Lemons faces you might have noticed were also missing. Well, that's because our beloved Judge Eric was tying the knot with his beautiful bride, beautiful and understanding bride, Amanda, that same weekend. So a bunch of the Lemons staff were celebrating with Eric and Amanda. They were missed at the race, so a lot of racers paid their respects.
Hey Eric, Amanda, congratulations on your nuptials.
I wish you so much love and happiness. Eric is such a great guy. The first time I met him, I think he was wearing a weird lab coat.
Wish you was here, but I understand why you're not. Appreciate you putting all this together and all the hard work that you put into it.
Hope you with all the best. Keep going. 30 seconds. I'm out of words, but perfect.
You still got 10 seconds.
Yep.
I wish you the best. We all miss you. Everybody's talking about you. Where's Eric? Where's Eric? Where's Eric? How many more seconds? Where's Eric? Where's Eric? Where's Eric? Where's Eric? Where's Eric? Where's Eric? And that's all. I'm here now.
Eric, I mean, I'd love to just congratulate you and congratulate Amanda. What an amazing experience you're going through right now. Wow, like just a milestone in your life. I'm sorry you're not here. I'm sorry you're not experiencing this Black Flag that I'm in right now. But I mean, I'm sure you're having a great time, and best of luck to you.
Jumping right into it, but terrible was the number 313 C3 Corvette. Now, actually, the car was hella sweet. The paint, the theme, all of it was awesome. They even had a great penalty. A little more on that in just a second.
Now, this classic machine and stereotypical piece of YU Rune classic, it falls into the but terrible category because it took 6 years to build. Granted, there were some external factors as well.
How long did it take you guys to build this car?
Well, we've owned it for 6 years. And you'll see why we had a bit of a delay. The garage, his garage, got sold to be a pot growing facility.
Oh, and you brought this as a bride?
Then, after 6 years of building, they turned fewer laps than a damn commie machine, the Volga.
And then, when they broke, they couldn't find a replacement small block Chevy V8 in Michigan.
Now, we really do hope to see this car again because it was gorgeous.
Corvette Magazine! Hella sweet, this Riata. Yeah, it eats its axles and front wheel bearings, but we love it. I mean, look at it. This weekend, they set a new team record covering 138 laps before the inevitable explosion of their right front hub.
But terrible, 313's coloring book penalty, which actually is but terrible on car 373. Now, the V8 swapped first generation RX-7 had an uncharacteristically bad session where they missed black flags for 5 laps. So we needed to refocus their efforts, and we gave them the coloring book donated by car 313.
Hyundai Elantra is beating those guys in the Red Bull car. It's unbelievable.
Hella sweet, the Sakai Project. We love this team. They always bring us a golf cart, tents, food, whatever we need. Normally, for their race car, they also bring a terrible Dodge Neon. It's so terrible that they often bring a spare Dodge Neon, which they always need, and that one always blows up too. This time they rethought the whole thing, brought one car, which was a V6 Mustang, lo and behold, finished 19th overall.
But terrible, car 412, the Funyun Subaru. Now, founded by a veteran of the Legitimate League of Nigerian Businessmen, they rocked up in a stockish Subaru Forester, and it was a contender for Class C. They were actually a great new team, but the terrible part was when one of their real racers had a 4-off in the rain in an all-wheel drive car, and they gave up the Class C win that they were contending for.
Dirty Mike and the boys, they're a Gingerman staple. We love these guys. They always show up, they bring their families, they have a great time, they help other teams, they have the right attitude. This time, they added a little twist, and maybe they took an old sandbox, turned it into a raft, and floated it across this pond. Who can say? Now, a little backstory on this pond, it's just a pond on the track premises at Gingerman. It didn't have a name, so years ago, Lemon's team put a sign up that named it Nick Pond. Meanwhile, back in the race, They had this small issue of their battery catching on fire and exploding, but they did race a little bit and I think finished in the top half.
But terrible, the number 116 Ford Focus. Now, previous B-Class domination could not keep this engine together. On the upside, the paddock had no mosquitoes all weekend.
Rad Lobster, Dodge Stealth. Now normally this car comes and competes in Class C against Andy DiDerossi's gang of Detroit high school students, and he usually loses to them. Well, this race, the high school kids weren't there, which gave Rad Lobster a clear path to Class C domination. So what did they do? That's a Dodge Stealth. They blew up.
But terrible. Bread in a can. For a bribe, someone gave us a case of this. What the hell? At least this team, Balaam's Donkey Racing, had some fun with it.
I gotta give a quick shout out to Three Blondes Brewing. It's a place that we always go when we're in town for the Ginger Man race. It's a great spot. It's in the same building as an ATV dealer. It's got all the ambiance and decor, and the staff there is always happy to see us.
Now, this weekend, South Haven, Michigan was also hosts the Mermaid and Merman Festival. So a quote from one of the staff was, "Thank God Lemons is here, otherwise this place would be overrun with weirdos."
Merman. Merman!
But terrible this weekend, ignoring black flags. We kept resetting the record for number of flags missed. First, a team set a record with 9 missed black flags. Another team came with 11. Finally, a team ignored 13 black flags. Look up! Watch where you're going!
Hell, sweet. This penalty pan clean. Now, leaving things in hot pits is but terrible. But when you get busted and you're told to clean your pan and then you really do it, hella sweet.
Hella sweet, the Bad Bunny penalty. Now, of course, you know by now if you get a black flag in Lemons, you're gonna have a pretty high likelihood of being humiliated. Well, this time, he had to put on the bunny suit.
I'm a bad bunny and also a bad driver. I offer jelly beans. You like jelly beans? Sure? Okay. It's really sweaty in here, I swear. The real punishment is whoever has to wear this next.
Now, hella sweet, TMI Motorsports. They were the overall winner on laps, and the TMI is a team that has been at this for a while. They are very Midwestern. They're fun, they're quiet, they're low-key, and they are deceptively quick. In fact, their tester camoed Camry is such a pain to photograph that professional motoring journalist Judge Aaron Cole spent the entire weekend just trying to get a good picture of it. But the hella sweet part is they got a newfangled high-dollar driver cooling system. And they donated their old cool shirt system to a Lemons judges to give to a well-deserving team. And we decided that that was number 131 Mrs. Puff's boating school. This poor crew from another college makes every Gingerman race in their bone stock Honda Accord, and this weekend suffered through some brutal temperatures. They were so grateful and happy. Thanks a lot, TMMI.
The Yokohama Road Mangler Cup went to Frankenstein Motorworks and their Toyota MR2. As you know, show up on Yokohamas, you get a chance to win a set of Yokohamas. This team was 3rd overall in their Camry swapped MR2. They're pretty under the radar, they're running on Yokohamas, and they won the drawing, so now they've got a new set for next time.
The regional award went to car number 22, and we called it the Old College Try, and that was for Fire Chicken Racing. Now, this team of Kettering students from Michigan defied all stereotypes. Of course they were polite, organized, and fun, but they did something very rare for a first-time team.
Did they set a new lap record?
Nope, it was even more rare.
Did they develop a new power plant that will alter our current energy landscape?
Even more rare.
They didn't blow it up in the first 5 laps on Saturday?
Oh no, they totally did that. But this group of students passed tech on the first try. Now, they dug this frickin' Firebird, which is like a danged old Camaro, but you know, Pontiac. out of the back 40 of somebody's uncle's farm, rebuilt the 305, then read the rules several times. The cage was solid, it was safe, it was well done, and it was quick. By 80s GM pony car standards.
And by that you mean it was butt slow.
Hella slow. When the engine popped, they stayed up all night swapping to another 305 and took the green flag on Sunday. All of their drivers actually got a stint. They were learning and they were doing their best to redeem the image of students nationwide. So great team and a well-deserved award.
Judge's choice went to Bad Decisions Racing. Now, Team Captain Mike and his crew, they're no strangers to weird cars and swaps. They have campaigned a 40-something Plymouth Dodge. I don't know, they took the Flathead 6 out of that car, put it in a 90s Camaro. So when they told us they were bringing a 1972 Gaz Volga for Lemons, we were excited because we knew that this is the kind of team that could actually pull it off.
And boy, were we disappointed. The Gorky Automobile Plant, or Gorkovsky Automobili Zavad, hence the Gaz-made cars, specifically the Volga for high-ranking members of the Communist Party in the USSR. The Volga was a status symbol in the Soviet Union, being large and luxurious, with a 3-band radio, and unlike the Gaz 21, for most of its production lifetime, it was not commonly available to the public. Those that were sold required a special permit to purchase them.
So, Bad Decisions needed to get creative to figure out a way to get a Gaz into the Lemons race, and their solution was, maybe not too lemony. Basically, they took some Gaz body panels, glued them onto a BMW E46. Of course, being Bad Decisions, they found about the worst E46 in the Midwest. It was an automatic. The water pump kept blowing up. It struggled throughout the weekend. It did turn more laps than the C3 Corvette, but that's not saying much.
Now, heroic fix went to Unit 32 and their 98 Volkswagen Jetta, but not for their Jetta. See, our timing and scoring meister, Rich, new to him, GMC Denali, needed rear brakes. So we looked to the paddock and asked for volunteers. The crew from Unit 32 jumped at the chance to curry favor with their cheating 25-year-old Jetta. So they cleared out their paddock space, removed everything required to access the rear brakes, pulled off the old parts, and Rich had the wrong parts. So they buttoned it all back up and Rich drove his scraping rear pads to the flaps. Flaps, if you did not know, stands for Friendly Local Auto Parts Store. And they gave him the correct pads, and Unit 32 ended up doing the same job twice.
I Got Screwed went to Team Finger Tight and their 76 AMC Gremlin. Now, for starters, this car's awesome. It's a 76 Gremmy with an LT1 swap.
Oh shit.
Last year, they had some teething problems.
The entire rear end came loose.
Yeah, like I said, teething problems. This time, completely sorted. And so they focused totally on their brand new Nesquik theme with the great paint job, costumes, the whole bit. They got 2 laps in on the practice day before there was some problem, and they drained the oil crankcase and they said, well, that's unicorn poop. Why? Because it was all sparkly and apparently not lubricating as well as expected. So rather than oil down the track, they parked it, loaned us the inflatable bunny suit for penalties, and that was pretty much their weekend.
Now, organizer's choice was car 607 Street Fighters in a 2003 Honda Accord LX 2.4. Now, there's been this recent trend of brand new teams showing up for Lemons from day one and just get it, which is a trend we love. 607 Street Fighters is absolutely one of those teams.
Now, like most Midwest teams, they were just really friendly and fun to be around, but they really went above and beyond even by those standards. Their car was okay, but it was appropriately lemony, and it had a manual transmission. That was cool.
And they drove this car to and from the track, from like Cleveland or someplace 6 hours away.
Throughout the entire weekend, the only time they showed up in penalty was a self-report for driving with his helmet visor cracked.
Just great guys, great effort, and absolutely earned that organizer's choice.
Index of effluency went to Stranger Danger and the Ruckus Rangers 65 Chevy Corvair. Rune Classic. Now, bringing an old Corvair is a great recipe for Lemon's success, but we've seen a few Corvairs before, and some of them have had pretty fancy engine swaps. You can see the Lemon's World episode about the Subaru WRX swapped Corvair from Texas. So, when this Corvair showed up with a modern Volkswagen TDI engine cover, we were sure that that was covering something completely cheaty. So, Judge Brett was sure that he had busted them, lifted the cover off, and completely stock Corvair engine. Got him!
After Tech and BS, we never saw this car again in penalty. It turned laps, it ran clean, and it finished in the top half of the field in a 55-year-old orphan General Motors car. Stop trying to go fast. It didn't really need a theme. It had legitimate Midwestern patina credibility.
The Halloween Meets Gasoline Award presented by eBay Motors. It's $1,000 to the best theme, the best costumes, etc. This went to the League of Legitimate Nigerian Businessmen. Now, to win this prize, you can't just show up with some wigs and Party City costumes.
It takes a level of commitment beyond just acting. It takes a vision shared by all members of your crew.
It requires the ability to inhabit the mind of another person who not only exists in imagination. Your team has to develop complete alter egos, flesh these visions out, and make the fantasy into a three-dimensional reality for others to see, experience, and appreciate.
You can't just inhabit these characters for the weekend. No, you have to wear them like a familiar coat, embracing their existence as your own until the world no longer sees anything but the presentation of this being, the character, the new reality.
Academy Awards? That's amateur hour compared to the commitment that it takes to nab an eBay Motors Halloween Meets Gasoline trophy.
Or just be really weird.
Now, all of this started several weeks before the race when all of a sudden a bunch of diss tracks by LOLNB started showing up on the internet. Now, we couldn't figure this out. Turns out LOLNB just is short for the League of Legitimate Nigerian Businessmen. And these diss tracks, if you're not aware, are hip-hop diss tracks where you're just talking a bunch of trash about your rivals.
Then came a music video. Then came another one. A whole album of Lemons-themed hip-hop. Characters and personas.
Look, I didn't want to do this, but I really have to. Dirty Mike and the boys, it's looking bad dudes. How you gon' race when you pull up with the nub? You start the engine and the thing gets stuck. That's not the worst, you know how it goes. When Rust Belt racing, let's see Yoda explodes. How can we lose when you're racing with that? Your car kick starts when it gets pushed from the back.
This team never brings it weak, and this weekend was no exception. They made it clear from the beginning that they wanted this HMG trophy. They would have settled for nothing less. We weren't just gonna hand it to them, but then we had no other choice. This was awesome.
And now, here's Lemons in a nutshell.
Stock fuel tank. Okay, that's good. What do you got in the radiator?
Goldfish, crackers.
Apple juice.
Yeah, yep.
Our numbers are still better than numbers we've seen today. Right out of the gate, I'm feeling A-5 because it's lightweight and I feel like it's not going to lose a lot.
Pretty fuel efficient.
Yeah. But at the same time, goldfish are kind of hard to come by at the racetrack, so we'll just go ahead and go A0.
In the lemon, man, we winning in the lemon, in the lemon, man, we winning in the lemon, in the lemon, man, we winning in the lemon, in the lemon, man, we winning in the lemon. Retro man, your name really suits you. You rode a car and the officials had to boot you. To be honest, we tell your story and laugh when we hang with bad decisions, cause we're all badass. Look, cheap thrills, your driving skill is ill, but you gotta be cheating with the way you handle the wheel. 3-pedal mafia, the real OGs, bring a bathtub to soak your real old knees. This lemon race is ours.
Turn the wheels off.
We're bullshit. This is real racing. I'm sick and tired of these V8 swapped cars.
all over the place. They're coming out here, they're ruining lemons. You got Solstices, you got Miatas. They're not in the spirit of it. They're just going too fast. We're out here to have fun. They're being too damn competitive.
I told him I'd wreck him.
Damn right, you better be pushing out of my hood.